Hey there, beautiful souls. Whether you're single or in a relationship, this intuitive love tarot reading was meant to find you. If you're new here, welcome to Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you're returning, thank you so much for being here again. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe for ongoing spiritual guidance. If you've been searching for answers, clarity, or confirmation, this reading may hold the message you've been waiting for. Ready to see what's unfolding? Let's dive in. Hey there, Virgo. This is your general intuitive love reading, which is for mid-August. I've already asked for blessings, so let's dive in. Let's see what the cards want to reveal. All right, Virgo. It is very interesting what I see here on the table. And even more interesting to me was the fact that when I split the decks, both decks, I don't know if you watch that I split the decks. Usually when I split the decks, to me, there is energy in that as well and messages that's very important. When I split a deck in three, for me, it represents the past, the present, and the future. And the pile that has the most cards in it is the dominant pile, sometimes for the reading. And it was very interesting because both decks, both the main messages deck and the clarifier deck that I split for you, the majority, and I mean there was a great majority of cards in the first pile that came out, the pile on the left, which is the past. And your past is very much here coming into the present, if you will, or it has having a huge impact on your either desire for a relationship, if you're not in one, or if you are currently in one, is impacting this relationship as we speak. All right. I thought that was so incredible because it was just a huge number of cards, but both times in both decks when I split it. Okay. Now, sometimes it does it in one and not the other. And so then I know that there's things going on all over the place, past, present, and future. Right. But I felt very strongly for you that something here is very highly tied to the past. And then, of course, in your current general energies, you have this high and lows, clarified by this Six of Cups, which is about the past. It's about nostalgia. It's about the memories of the past. It's also clarified by this Four of Pentacles, but I feel like your energy here is very nostalgic energy. Okay. And this what gives you the highs and lows. Highs and lows mean there's a lack of consistency, right? Now, if you are in a relationship, then you're having some highs and some lows. That can be you have some drama, right, going on there. But maybe there are more lows than there is actually highs, okay? And this makes you either be nostalgic for the past. It could make you just guarded in general. If you're not in a relationship and then you're just thinking about the highs and the lows of the past, maybe that's why that past pile was so thick for me in both decks, but I feel like somebody is definitely, experiencing some ups and some downs here, which is creating some instability. Okay. So if you are in a relationship, then you're having moments of closeness and moments of withdrawal, maybe more withdrawal than than closeness. Okay. But the real question is, what are you thinking about? What's your nostalgia? What are your memories? Are your memories of the good times with this relationship and saying, why are we not having that? Or are you thinking about a past relationship? Okay. Certainly if you're single, you're thinking about a past relationship or the past in general and how it colors your relationships. Right. So I feel like there's definitely some up and down going on there. Okay. Now, Six of Cups is sometimes brings it with it an energy of not just memories or emotional familiarity, but sometimes it talks about soulmate energy. Okay. So I feel like maybe you thought this person was your soulmate or is your soulmate, or that person in the past was your soulmate or could have been your soulmate, or you're looking for your soulmate. Okay. But there's definitely an attachment here to the past there. Okay, someone's holding on to some meaningful memories, and you're holding on to them very tightly with this Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles says you can't release something. That we're protecting ourselves. We're vulnerable and we have fear of vulnerability, so we're trying to protect ourselves. Okay, so someone could potentially also be holding back here emotionally out of fear of loss or disappointment. All right, to me, I feel like when we're in that mode, when we're in this mode of fear of loss, we hold back. Sometimes we hold back what needs to be said. So is there something here that has not been spoken or is unspoken, right? Something is left unsaid. Maybe there's a lot that's been left unsaid. So much left unsaid for somebody out there. Okay. So I feel like, although you might want you definitely want a strong bond in a relationship if you're not in one. If you are in one, this bond doesn't, you're trying to make it strong, but there's ups and downs and ups and downs and fear and self-protection, which is vacillating, sort of bringing the pendulum from one side to the other. And that prevents there from being some full kind of openness between you. And hence the reason you have things to say, or they have things to say, or both of you have things to say, and they're not being said. Let's get into the challenges. Protection, very important, clarified by the High Priestess and the Four of Cups. Interesting energy there, because the challenge says if you're emotionally withdrawing and there's silence, it's because you're trying to protect yourself, the relationship, them, what have you. Okay. Protection says one or both of you is guarded or are guarding yourselves instead of openly expressing your feelings. Okay. Protection is about safety, right? Either you're protecting yourself, protecting your well-being. Okay. Maybe they don't maybe they don't make you feel safe or protected. That was a weird way for that to come out. But anyway, and the interesting thing is one or both of you knows it, because you have the High Priestess here and your intuition is pointing in this direction. Okay. Your intuition saying there's unspoken truths here. Someone knows exactly how they feel, but refuses to fully reveal it. Okay. You're hiding the emotions, you're burying the emotions, you're burying the unspoken truth, what have you, and it's not coming out. And with that Four of Cups, there's disappointment, right? This guy here sitting here has had the three cups before. Each time has been a disappointment. So there's no way he's even looking at that fourth cup because it's just going to be another disappointment, right? Four of Cups is also a card of avoidance, though, or a card of disengagement. So it's saying if you have to speak the truth because there's something unspoken or needs to be said, you're avoiding it, or they're avoiding it, or you're both avoiding it. Okay? So there's difficulty here as part of the challenge in recognizing that something needs to come out, or that something needs to come out and you don't know how to get to it, or start it, or approach it, or jump into it. Okay? But definitely some stuck energy in the knowing you need to say something because there's a lot of contemplation going on, I feel, and a lot of dissatisfaction going on there. Okay? So definitely some emotional avoidance in the challenges here. And, your feelings might be very present, but the full truth is not very present in what needs to be communicated or said. Okay? And either neither of you know how to break through this wall or approach this wall or even commence to, take a hammer to it. Let's put it that way. Okay? All right, you have in your outcome energy the frustration card. I feel sorry for you, my dear Virgos, because frustration is a terrible thing, clarified by the King of Cups and the Ace of Wands. Outcome energy says, maybe you have strong feelings, maybe you have strong attachments, maybe you have strong attractions, but it's difficult. There's a difficulty in expressing them consistently. That's very frustrating. Frustration is you put in a lot of effort to make something work and it doesn't work the way you want to. Or maybe you or them or both of you are sacrificing a lot to have this and it just isn't working. Or it's hard to be on the same page with them. And that makes total sense because the King of Cups is about balance, right? The King of Cups is a card of saying your head and your heart need to be on the same page. Okay? The King of Cups is a very deeply mature energy of saying, I know how to have balance here. Okay? Someone here feels very much more deeply, I think, than they outwardly show or they outwardly communicate. And so for the other person, it's frustrating. You know what your situation is, if it's you, them, or both. But you also have this deep passion, or you want to bring deep passion to this relationship if you're in one, or you want to have a deep, passionate relationship if you are looking for one. All right? For a relationship. You want the chemistry, you want the new beginning, you want the spark, the flame, the feelings of the ticklish stomach. Okay? So, because the energy is frustration, your emotions and your attraction may not flow as smoothly as you want it to flow. Okay. So when we get to or we have this generally means that there's some communication that needs to happen. The emotional hesitation has to stop, or it's going to continue to create some tension. And the timing of this is very apropos. Okay, it's very appropriate that you're coming up against this now because it's important to have this realization. Feelings are real and attraction might be undeniable, my friends, but emotional expression needs to occur. It needs to be clearer. It needs to be spoken, right? If this connection is going to progress, or if you are going to find the right connection, before you jump into one is to realize that you need to be clear with that person if you're single, okay? If it's going to progress or whatever, okay? Otherwise, you will continue to have repeated frustration, and that is not what I want for you at all, my friends. All right, interesting read. That's it for today. I hope something resonates. And I would say don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel out. Truly appreciate your support of the channel. This channel does not exist without you and your support of it, and I am truly grateful for that. I'll see you again very soon. Till then, please know I am, as always, wishing you divine light and love.